All right, we are out at a new test flight facility, a local bike park, without my bike, but we're not here for bike riding. We're here for drone test flying. We have a developer HP. Next time you see this HP, more likely than not, it'll have a thermal camera attached to it. All that setup and configuration has already been done. Just want to get this up off the ground. It's already been flown previously in another life, but it's rebuilt, seeing new life. Have the props to finish putting back on. Instead of the thermal camera, we just have an empty cargo container to kind of simulate how the thermal camera would be mounted underneath, just from like a weight perspective, doing that initial bit of auto tuning. So let's go ahead and finish putting on the props, and we'll get this HP up off the ground. I already did the compass calibration outside of our workshop, so that should speed this process along at least a little bit. Ain't nobody got time to wait. All right. I am putting on a counterclockwise prop, which is going to be the top right and rear left, or front right. Although I think everyone probably knew what I meant. Should have brought a little collapsible seat that just recently was given. Just an awkward angle. I guess I could be, using the table. That would probably make more sense. All right, 2 down, 2 to go. And clockwise, so this is going to be rear right. Who says a bike park can't also be a drone park? Our local drone park is only open Wednesdays through Sundays, and it used to just be Wednesdays, Saturdays, and Sundays until yours truly made a stink or a deal with the county to get it open Thursday and Friday as well. But alas, on a day like today, this is about as good as it gets when we're already at the workshop. Now that we're no longer welcome in our old, private Honda field we are using without permission, quickly moving on to newer, greener, actually literally greener fields, greener pastures. Not so much a pasture. There's not quite as much open space here, but the other close alternative was the park near our local lake. And technically speaking, there's the Army Corps of Engineers or something like that. I don't know, I'm ignorant. That's just a rumor I've heard. Restrict drones from flying over the lake, although, that doesn't really happen. But also for not quite, well, technically speaking, a maiden flight with this rebuild, but as far as the components, they've all been up in the air. Like you just don't care, say hey, say oh. All right, let's give all those a nice little pull, a loop-de-loop and pull. And now your props are looking cool. Ideally, I'd get this booting to lock onto a GPS signal, but I'm going to do the right thing and go ahead and plug in the radio first. I don't know if it's already visible at this point in the video, but we're using QGroundControl today. I know, it's such a bummer any day you have to use QGroundControl. I know there's dozens of us out there that pretty much use it damn near daily, even if you're not using it to fly. Dozens of us, I tell you. One of us, one of us. All right, and we'll go ahead and boot her on up. Boot her on up. All right, let's see what sort of error messages, if any, we're gonna get here in QGroundControl. And if it looks good, we'll probably just switch over to the iVue RC app and try flying there for what should be a fairly mundane flight. And if it doesn't look too good there, we might have to do some more tuning and out in a more open space, probably at the drone park, which would have to be tomorrow. Compass 3 not found. That shouldn't be a problem. Vehicle has failed a pre-arm check. Let's see what that could be. I'm going to delete this mission before I accidentally start it. If I can just navigate to the right menu. Clear. Yep. Exit plan, compass not found. Okay, so I guess that will be an issue. You can see this yaw follow is set up because it's currently configured to have a gimbaled thermal camera attached to it. So hopefully that won't be a problem for allowing us to arm and take off. But in any case, let's go ahead and close out of QGroundControl. We're going to switch over to Mission Planner. Oh my God, I'm so stupid. I accidentally reopened QGroundControl. No, I will not fall for the same trap again. If only that were the case. I may or may not be a slow learner. Sometimes more than other times. All right, going over to the configuration screen. I lied, the setup screen, mandatory hardware compass. And we're just going to disable compass 3 and we will remove missing and we're going to reboot. It's going to be maybe like 10 seconds if that, but we should hear a reboot noise from developer, or at least I will. And there it is. And let's go ahead, disconnect, and go back over into QGroundControl. Man, there's all this trash on my computer. What the? Uh-oh. Copyright. People are gonna know my music taste. Jacob doesn't have taste. And look at that. I think that did it, ladies and gentlemen. So, still configuring the GPS. GPS 2. Let's give it a little bit. I don't think we have a GPS 2, so this could be improper configuration. This one hasn't been just copied and pasted over from our typical developer HP setup because we are building this out with a thermal camera. There is a different configuration process for it. So this is actually an older unit that we sold, delivered, upgraded some components, had a crash with it, and here we are now many months later, righting wrongs and getting it out the door not quite yet, but here very, very soon. Again. All right, still configuring the GPS. How about you configure the GPS quicker? Now, what if I go to parameters GPS 2? And what if I disable it because we don't have a second GPS? We're going to have QGroundControl crash on us, force close. And let's reopen it. And let's go over to loiter. But why? Okay, need position estimate. Here we are, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my goodness. The day has come. Looks like we're ready to fly. Just waiting for this position estimate message to go away, which should have already gone away. And there it is, okay. All right, we're gonna switch over to the iVue RC app and hope that there's no problems with the configuration. Nothing I overlooked with the hardware setup as far as motors spinning the wrong way or anything like that, but that could never happen, right? That would never be the case. I am looking for this one cable just to use the controller that hopefully I won't have to use. Just going to attempt a hover test and we'll go from there and see what more testing we're going to do depending on how the hover test goes. Closing out a QGroundControl. I'm going to open up the production version of World's iVue. So World's iVue. And then just in case anything is not working as it should in this version, going to give us a version check of 1.5.3. So this was published back on January 11th. We're going to allow our location. We're going to add a drone, connect to drone, STM32. Going to verify our controller is connected. Now it is. I'm going to select fly drone, arm and fly, and just have it take off to 10 feet, and let's see how it goes. Nice and smooth. Beautiful. I'm going to make sure the controls are correct on it. I just put it into loiter flight mode. Forward is forward, back is back, left is left, right is right. Might want to do a little bit more tuning, but we'll lock that in once we get the thermal camera attached to it. But I think that's really all that we need to verify with this HP build. So I'm just going to have it do an automated landing right there. I think it looks like it's flat enough space. Flat enough space. But yeah, new developer HP build, hard to complain with how it performed there. Again, next time you see it, we'll have a thermal camera attached and we'll have a different controller setup, but you'll still be able to fly it through the iVue RC app, but with the controller that we have paired with it, you have a touchscreen, and right now there's QGroundControl and another ground control app available. We tried to run iVue RC on it. Unfortunately, the version of Android the controller is built on doesn't support it, but in any case, be on the lookout for that video amongst some of the others that we have coming up. Thanks for watching. Peace.